Hello, my name is Sonali. Welcome back to another episode of Around the World. Questions like how the internal politics of a country affects international politics and whether it even affects international politics or not is one of the important subjects of political science. Often such questions arise that due to internal politics, can a country form new relations with other countries or break the existing relations? Like many analysts believe that it has an impact, but many reject it outright. But in reality, internal politics plays an important role in foreign policy. Countries often resort to international relations to achieve complex domestic agendas, like the recent Indian-Maldives dispute. Policies arising from domestic politics have created tension in India-Maldives relations today. The India-Maldives dispute, which started after Prime Minister Modi visited Lakshadweep, is taking new turns every day. In this series, Maldivian President Mohammad Muizzu has made a new announcement and given a deadline of March 15, 2024 to the Indian Army to leave Maldives. In such a situation, the question arises that why is Maldives sending back Indian soldiers? What impact is this going to have on India-Maldives relations? And is China behind the deteriorating situation in Maldives? In today's episode, we will find answers to these questions. So let's start the discussion. Maldives, made up of a group of islands in the Indian Ocean, attracts the whole world with its beauty. This country, famous for tourism, has become the center of discussion these days regarding its internal politics and foreign policy. Amidst the strain in relations with India, the Maldives government has given time till March 15, 2024 to the Indian Army to leave Maldives. It also said that the world's largest democracy will respect its decision. According to government figures, at present, there are 88 Indian military personnel in Maldives. Indian soldiers were sent to Maldives to train Maldivian soldiers in combat and rescue assistance operations. Keeping its intentions clear from the beginning, the Indian Army has made an unprecedented contribution in the field of humanitarian aid and defense in Maldives. However, Maldivian internal politics strongly opposed the presence of the Indian military in the country, and their presence was portrayed as a threat to the country's national security. This image of India was heavily promoted in the presidential elections held in Maldives last year. This is the reason why the India Out campaign was successful during the elections, and based on this, Mohammad Muizzu won the elections. Before India Out, let us consider why Indian soldiers went to Maldives and what were the reasons for staying there till now. Actually, this was the year 1988 when there were clouds of crisis over Maldives and there was a situation of a coup. At that time, India came forward to help the neighboring country and under Operation Cactus restored the government of the then President Maumoon Abdul Gayoom in Maldives. In a quick operation, Indian troops managed to secure the president and capture the rebels. Maldives generally appreciated India's role in this episode. But in Maldives, which was once a supporter of the India First policy, these days the India Out campaign is gaining momentum, which is why the presence of Indian soldiers is becoming irritating. However, this is not the first time when the presence of the Indian Army is disturbing the politicians there. According to political analysts, this dispute started after India gave 2 Dhruv advanced light helicopters to Maldives in 2010 and 2015. As per the terms of bilateral agreements between the two countries, Indian officers were sent to Maldives to train the Maldivian National Defence Force, under whose command these helicopters operate. However, these helicopters given by India were only for humanitarian aid purposes, but the anti-India forces sitting in Maldives gave it a different political color and tried to show that with the help of this helicopter, India is strengthening its military presence in the country. Along with this, in February 2021, an agreement was signed between India and Maldives on UTF Harbour project, under which India will develop a Maldives National Defence Force Coast Guard harbour at Sifavaru Uthuru Hilaf-Halu, that is UTF. However, this agreement was mispropagandized in Maldives, and it was said that the UTF project would be converted into an Indian naval base. Although the Indian government had indicated that it would provide grant assistance for the project, there were no plans for any Indian naval base. If we look at the relations between India and Maldives amid the changing equation of relations, then undoubtedly at the international level, in diplomatic language, these countries refer to their old friendship, but the truth is that the increasing closeness with China has affected the relations between Maldives and India and has created sourness. But the geographical location of Maldives makes it very important from a strategic point of view. Maldives' location in the Indian Ocean makes it important because Maldives acts like a toll gate located in the Indian Ocean. Two important sea routes of communication are located in the southern and northern parts of this island series. It is important for maritime trade between the Gulf of Aden and the Strait of Hormuz in West Asia and the Strait of Malacca in Southeast Asia. The oil imported from Gulf countries passes from here. This is the reason why India stands with Maldives in every crisis. But despite so much help from India, the reason for increasing Chinese influence in Maldives is the internal politics there. Maldives, whose mainstay of the economy is tourism, is facing economic crisis since COVID. Debt in the country is increasing and foreign exchange reserves are decreasing. Then again, Maldives is also facing the challenges of climate risk. Maldives is struggling with problems like unemployment and inflation. In such a situation, its dependence on Chinese investment has increased. Amidst all this dependence was clearly visible in President Mohammad Muizzu's recent visit to China, where Muizzu was seen reciting ballads in praise of the Dragon Nation. Muizzu said, "China is one of our closest allies and development partners." Along with this, Muizzu met Chinese President Xi Jinping and signed about 20 agreements, in which it was also agreed to start domestic flights from China by the national airline of Maldives. The two countries have also signed an agreement to develop an integrated tourism zone in Hulhumale, for which China will assist about $50 million. Apart from this, China will also provide a grant for a 100-bed hospital in Vilimale. In such a situation, it is also being said that after returning from China, President Muizzu is speaking the language of China. Maldives is very important for China, which is moving ahead with its policy of expansionism, because through this island country situated in the Indian Ocean, China can establish its dominance in the Indo-Pacific region. In such a situation, China is trying to increase its reach in Maldives by rapidly expanding its navy. Maldives is also a partner of China's Belt and Road Initiative. China has played a role in financing and building various projects in the Maldives, including the development of ports, airports, bridges, and other critical infrastructure as part of the String of the Pearls initiative. In the changing geopolitical environment, it cannot be denied that the internal politics of Maldives is affecting its international relations with India. But despite this, India's role in Maldives cannot be completely dismissed. India has always stood together with Maldives, and amidst the strengthening economic relations between the two, such speculations are meaningless that Maldives will try to move away from India. However, India should not take this lightly and insist on continuing its tradition of promoting a multipolar and rule-based world order with its neighbors. So that's all in today's episode. See you in the next episode. But before that, let's note down a question based on today's story. Analyze the role of China in India-Maldives relations.